Evening. Are you ready for the weekend?
Yes, yes. But tomorrow I have a lot of work. So after this, the weekend is coming. You begin.
Yeah, I look forward to it myself. So, are you familiar with the discussion, the topic for tonight?
Yes, yes, a little.
Good, because
It
he's an
it
interesting
is
character.
yes, yes, and so because he is, I think he have pride of what uh, he he does.
Hmm.
He was captured.
Well, he is very clever. It looks like we've got a
Yeah,
new student in the class.
yeah. Nice to meet you, Amp.
Hi there. Hello again.
Yes, it's
Hello.
been weeks.
It's almost,
Yeah.
yeah.
What happened to you?
Well, my sister was here and we were on vacation. And then my dad had two procedures in his eye. And then my friend from this weekend. So I was the tourist guy for him around the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been busy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Anna was bugging me on the weekend. She wants me to teach some new classes.
And are you going to do it?
Well, go ahead and click on this link here, both of you. You can see what I've got the rest of the week. You'll see some new ones in there.
Okay. I schedule two classes.
Excellent. Well, describe what you see after this. There's only one seat or two seats available for that one, but I've added the Hangman and Jeopardy. And I purchased some software, so I'm using software for this, and actually it's very, very, very good. So if you get a chance, join me on the Hangman or Jeopardy classes.
Tomorrow, good.
Yeah. Tomorrow's game day.
Yeah.
So let's just
Great.
quickly go over what a debate is. So what is a debate, guys?
It's a
Two
discussion.
opposites.
Go ahead, please.
No, go ahead, you.
Please, ladies first.
Oh, well. Yes, a discussion and 2 points of view. Try to support your ideas, and well, at the end, you have to know who won.
Good, very good. And Wellington, who are we trying to convince?
Who?
Yeah.
The opponent, the people.
Yeah, so it's about trying to persuade a third party. We're not trying to convince our opponent. And remember, this is very much a confrontational way of having a conversation. Or in a way, it's an argumentative discussion. Okay?
Yes.
Now, because we have a very limited amount of time, what I always recommend is know what you want to say. Have the issue or concern, and then support it with some evidence. Okay? Evidence, facts, and so on. Be clear. Let people know what you're talking about. But be as short as you need to be. Okay? It's very important. You've got a very limited amount of time. Now, these are just a couple of the vocabulary terms here. And, maybe I should just share out this document here. Let's see if I can share this out to you. That way you guys can keep it on your computer. I've still got some errors in it. I've got to clean it up, but for now, this should be sufficient.
Thank you.
Where's the PDF? There it is.
No, it's the link.
So there's a link to this document.
Okay, thank you.
These are all the only words I'm really concerned with. So we know what a debate is. It's just, okay. It's essentially an argument. Resolution is the debate topic. We have two teams: affirmative, negative. The affirmative always supports the resolution. The negative opposes always. And a rebuttal is where we refute the opponent. We contradict them. Okay. So this is a very simple structure, and what we're going to do in this class. And if it's only two of you, this is going to go really easily. And I'll have Amp go first because I've always picked on Wellington and had him go first. But this is our structure here. We have an opening statement. This is usually 2 minutes long in this class. This is where you need to provide an outline of what you're doing here. What's the debate? What's your resolution? How do you support it? How do you intend to back it up? Summarize everything very quickly for us, what you're going to prove. And then we go through a series of rebuttals. Who knows how many we'll have? Maybe 2, 3, we'll see. And of course, a closing statement is the opposite of an opening statement. Summarize again your resolution, what you've proved, summarize your key points, but also summarize your opponent's points that you've refuted, showing how what they've said is not valid. Now this is where I stop talking, you guys start working. Now I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you 3 minutes of time to do some working, since there's only 2 of you. So at 10 minutes after, Amp, you're going to give your opening statement. So Amp, you're going to be supporting the affirmative. That means you believe, and again, if you look at the class title, this is what we're arguing today, that no prison can hold El Chapo. Okay, no prison can hold El Chapo. So you will get to speak for 2 minutes, Amp, introducing us. And here's the overall structure of the opening, right? Do a good afternoon or good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Introduce us to the topic, and then tell us a bit about the topic. Okay? Wellington, I want you to do the same, only you're on the negative. You will follow Amp. So guys, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes now. Do some thinking, and then we'll start, okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to go grab my phone because I need that for the timer. We'll start in just a minute. All right, it's 10 after. Amp, are you ready?
Okay.
Now, I know,
Good evening.
hold on a sec. Let me
Okay.
explain what I'm going to do. So, as you talk, for each thing you get correct or each point I think you've clearly articulated, I'm going to give you a point. And I'm going to do the same for Wellington. This allows you guys to keep score. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and start, and I'll set the timer. Now, what I do recommend, if you do have a timer close by, such as on your smartphone, keep track of your own time so you finish on time. All right, whenever you're ready, go
It
ahead and...
is 2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good evening, Mr. Chairman and ladies and gentlemen. Today, the topic for our debate is that there is no prison for the billionaire that can hold billionaire drug lord El Chapo. Yes, definitely. I think that is true. That is true because he's supposed to be in a high security prison, but because he had a lot of money, he can pay all the car that he wants. And unfortunately, the police in Mexico, it's very corrupt also, and you don't know who can be part of his group, who can be um, just sold for an amount of money. And the, the the video when he ran away last time, and all the tunnel that was built just show us that it's impossible that nobody had heard, had listened all the movement that this implies to build this tunnel. So uh, I think many authorities are including in this escape, and we are going to have the same again. Probably it's part of the strategy from the government just to gain the popularity, saying that well he was captured when most of the authorities they know from the beginning where the guy was.
Well done. Very good use of your time. You had 2 seconds left according to my clock. Okay, so you scored a lot of points. 7 or 8. I gave you a point for good speed, just because I think you did a very good job of not speaking too fast. So very well done. Wellington, you should be a little nervous. The fact that she did that well with very little preparation, I think that's a good sign for the affirmative. Now you're on the negative. So whenever you're ready, Wellington, start talking and I'll start the clock.
Okay, so good evening. My name is Wellington, and I am talking. I disagree with this statement. Why? Because if the government, if the authorities want it, they can hold any prisoner, including this Sir El Chapo. And the Mexican Navy recaptured El Chapo with the together with a type and maybe with the DAA. So the government they act in a good way, and now El Chapo is in the prison. To maintain this sir in the prison, of course, it's necessary rules, and the rules are there. The laws have to be to follow for everybody. The prison guards can be strengthened, and the policy, the Mexican government, uh, if it's necessary, they can ask for help. for help. I believe that there are many ways. For example, uh, change the prison, change this guy of prisons, and the policy can be also strengthened. So we also other ways like interrupt the communication.
Thank you. Time is up. You actually ran over time a little bit, so normally I would subtract a point, but I'm not going to do that this time. I will do that in the future, though. So
Okay.
good, you did the introduction. You disagreed with the resolution, but you actually didn't restate it. So it's always good to restate your position completely so it's clear.
Okay.
And yeah, you talked a little bit about policy. I think you could have had a few more points there because it wasn't as clear. And also to AMP, the fact that he's escaped multiple times, I think I would have harped on that even more because I think that's a weakness for the negative. Okay. David, thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hi. Well, we have a bit of a problem here. There's 3 people, but we only have 2 teams, so I'm not sure who should get David on their team. Well, let's count up the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for Wellington. 1, 2, 7 to 8 points for AMP. So, David, I'm going to pair you up with Wellington, since Wellington didn't get as many points.
Okay.
So you've got some more support, because David did really well last time. So did you, Wellington. I think you did really well last time. So what we're going to do now is we've had our opening statements, and I want us to go into rebuttals. Now, this is very simple. Hello, my name is Simon. My first point is this. Okay, boom. My second point is this. My third point is this. Just make sure you follow up with a reason that supports it. You've only got a minute in this round. Be clear and be brief. Cite some sort of evidence. So I will go back to AMP first, and AMP will have a minute to do a couple of things. Okay, so AMP can talk a little bit about, well, what other points she wants to introduce. Like she can go, and I kind of got this backwards here, but right here, I will be discussing these points. When you go to refute what, let's say, Wellington said, you could say, Wellington tried to tell you this. This is wrong because, and clearly state it. Right? That's a good way to do it. It's very quick. Wellington tried to say this. He's wrong because, point 1. I'm going to tell you why, your point is, and you provide a little bit of backup to it. So this is very important. The rebuttal is very important. Okay, so I've got my timer ready. You have 1 minute, AMP. You can continue your argument, or you can refute what Wellington said, or you can do both. Timer starts when you start talking.
Okay, Wellington, you said that the guy was recaptured. Yes, that's it. But you are sure that he is inside the prison? You don't know. What else? It's just question of time that they can say, "Oops, he disappeared again," or, well, they can say that, well, he can buy the judge, and it's easier to reduce the penalty, and he is not going to send to the U.S. and he's not going to deal with well, to face the justice in the U.S. and all this the money that he has gained, probably it's more than they know.
You went over, so you get -1. Your timer was off just a little bit. But good. The only thing, AMP, is you didn't do an introduction, so always do that. It's easy to score a point. Reintroduce yourself.
Again? Okay.
Yeah, but the main reason is because of the way the class is broken down. It's a good way to reintroduce yourself. Not everybody may know you or who's talking. In this case, you guys do. There's only 3 of you. But this is the structure we're trying to use for this class. It's an easy way to score a point. Let's put it that way. Okay, so Wellington, your team is up now, and since David hasn't spoken, I'm going to give David a chance to refute for the negative. So David, you're on the negative.
So am I in favor that El Capo staying in Mexico?
The resolution is no prison can hold El Chapo. So we're not even talking about which country he's going to stay in. Okay. So we're saying he can't be held by any prison, Mexican, U.S., or anywhere else in the world.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Well, he's escaped a couple of times, right? So, and he's very, very wealthy. So how is the U.S. any different? Could he not bribe people there as well? Right? You know, you can kind of argue this both ways. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer as soon as you start talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is David, and I am in favor of the proposition. I believe that any human being can be kept in jail if we follow certain protocols. I believe that United States or even Mexico have the power to keep this criminal in prison. I understand that the Mexican jail system have some glitches, some mistakes in the process, but they have learned the hard way, but they have learned. And I believe now they know the connections. Nothing is infallible, but I'm positive that this time we will be able to keep this criminal in prison, either in the United States or in Mexico. I prefer to him to stay in Mexico so he can deal with the time's up.
Excellent. So well done. You brought up a few good points, David. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Amp. Are you ready for your rebuttal?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Well, how can you be? Well, my name is Amparo. My first point is that, well, El Chapo was supporting all the campaign of the president, so they have a debt with him. And being in prison in Mexico is not a guarantee. Probably this is a circus that they just doing, just for gain point with the people, with people in Mexico that they were doubting about him, and it's just like a big deal in between both of them. But you don't know if how under what conditions he is inside. Probably he is doing the same business than before, so it's not a guarantee that he's there.
All right. So he has it in with the president. It's all a circus. Wow, this is getting more interesting. Wellington, it's your turn for a rebuttal.
Okay. People, I have to say that there are not proof that the El Chapo supported the president. About what AMP said, that there is a debt the president has a debt. Also, there is not a proof. It's not a circle to the people. What I have to say is that El Chapo is in prison, and about what was said before, judge, I don't believe that the judge was also bought. We know that problems.
Okay, well done. You addressed each of the points, Wellington. That's really good. Very well done. All right, we're going to do a little bit more when it comes to refuting, and then we'll do some closing statements, and then we'll change up the teams a little bit. Okay, so back to you, Amp. You're getting a lot of talk time. You ready? Amp, are you ready? No, Amp is not ready. Oh.
El Capo is waving her, splitting her strings with Anne.
The dog is barking. It happens.
Okay. Well, my name is Amparo, and I think that Wellington tried to convince that the system in Mexico is working well, but we have a lot of examples that mayors that have no relation with the narco traffic, with drugs, and they have been killed the same day that they were in charge. So you know the kind of problems that have, and a lot of members of the police, a lot of judge have been discovered that receive money from this group of these cartels of drugs. So for me, it's impossible that it's pretty clean the system in Mexico, even when the government tried to say that they are changing. Um, it's a bad symptom that he received money from him.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. I'm going to actually let each of you do a closing statement. Okay? So, David, I'm going to let you choose which side you're going to be on. And your points are for you. So you can choose to be on the affirmative, but we're going to look at you for what you do. We're not going to add your points to either Wellington or AMP. All right? So 30 minutes after, we'll all provide our closing statements. You guys will have 2 minutes for your closing statement. Remember, very formal. And this is like a courtroom. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, start off very formally. Restate your position for or against the resolution, and what is the resolution. Hit them with your key points, maybe your top 3. If you've got time, more. Then refute their top points. Use a bit of humor. Be respectful and say thank you at the end. Don't run out of time, guys, and make sure you stick to the 2 minutes. So at 30 minutes after, we'll do our conclusions. Feel free to ask me any questions if you have any questions.
The conclusion is also 1 minute.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay.
Whose turn is it?
Oh, I don't know. I'll go with AMP, Wellington, and then you, David. You guys have 1 more minute to prepare.
It's okay.
I understand. I'm still going to give you guys time. I like it, Amp. You're ready to go. Anna was the same one class. She did a lot of homework on the weekend, and she was like a tiger in the debate. Guys, have your smartphones, your timers ready, because if you run over time, it will work against you. All right, time is up. Amp, are you ready to go?
Okay. Well, my name is Anne, and Mr. Chairman and gentlemen, in conclusion, yeah, it's there are no prison for hold this lord of the drug, because he's a billionaire and he can pay to a lot of people, the judges or the police officer, the custody, and also maybe he is inside a prison for a while, but he is going to live in him with all the commodities inside the prison, and he is going to continue the business that he had given instructions, and that is how he had now a billionaire, and that is another point is that he was supporting the campaign for the president even when the president denied it, and now it's just uh, trying to show to the world that he's not a corrupted guy, but members from the government are part of the organization of the drug cartels, and we cannot trust the authorities in Mexico. And we know that this guy probably is not going to stay in prison more than a year probably. They must be have a plan from inside.
All right, thank you. Lots of points. Very good. Nicely put together there. Wellington, are you ready, sir?
I think so.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, I will start the timer.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my final statement is that this government can hold this Sir El Chapo in the prison. This government, the Mexican government, is working to vanish the drug problems. The prison of El Chapo is a real proof of this. Today, that government is working with other countries. This sir can be the lord of inside of the prison with their peers, but not here. We have the law. We are working to the people. And this is the first pace to the improvement. We are not here working to the media. We are working for our children. We can interrupt the communication of any prisoner with the exterior. We can do a lot, and we starting with this prison. The things are changing. The problems, they will fear that government. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. First person to say thank you. With 30
Thank
seconds
you,
left.
sir.
Well done, Wellington. Now, David, which side have you decided to create your closing statement for?
I'm going to support Wellington.
Okay, so you're going to be on the negative then?
Wellington is on the negative. Well, Wellington is saying that it's possible to keep
Yes.
somebody in prison, right?
Well,
Yes.
well, what's the resolution?
Right?
What's the resolution?
No prison is capable to keep this guy.
Yes. So you believe that, yes, a prison can hold him. He
Yes.
can be held. Right.
Okay.
Menos uno por no saber la resolución.
Hey. Interruptions not allowed. Be respectful. Go ahead,
Right.
David.
Ladies and gentlemen, the idea that no prison can hold a criminal is ridiculous. The idea that human beings cannot protect other human beings is ridiculous. We have the means, we have the technology, and we have learned from our mistakes. El Chapo, any other criminal, can have the punishment that they deserve for the crimes they do against the humanity. Could be Mexico or United States, or any parts of the world. But to believe that nobody can keep a single person in prison is just ridiculous. Thank you very much.
Wow, quickest so far. Nicely done. Clear, concise, coherent. I liked it. Scored a lot of points, restated the resolution, and came out with very strong language. And, you know, that got me interested, too. I liked your combative style. It was very, very good. Amp, you did a great job. You came out pretty strong. There was no surprises in what you said. And Wellington, you did good, too, but I sensed you were struggling with, like, I don't know, I don't believe that this guy is going to stay in prison. Like, do you believe he's going to be captured? Or do you believe he's going to escape again, Wellington?
No, I believe that
No, I'm talking, forget the debate, but do you believe he can be kept in prison, or do you think he'll escape again?
no, I believe that the government can hold them in the prison, can hold him in the prison. Like I said, like David said, there are technology, there is technology to maintain. So many things can be done to this.
Okay, no, that's good. I just wanted to know. So, we're going to change things up. This time, Wellington's going to be on the side of the negative. No, David's going to be on the side of the negative. And Amp and Wellington, you're going to be on the side of the affirmative. Okay?
Okay.
I want to give you guys 3 minutes to get your brains squared away. So at 40 minutes after, we'll start off with our opening statements. So you guys have 3 minutes to prepare. Remember your team. I'm reversing you this time. Two minutes. One minute. All right, time is up, guys. All right, so the affirmative will go first. So, David, you're by yourself this time on the affirmative. You have 2 minutes to provide your opening statement. Are you ready, sir?
Um, I guess so.
You guess so. Well, let's see how well you do.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David, and I'm here to explain to you, to let you know that, in fact, no prison can hold El Chapo or any other criminal for a long time. History has proved that human flaws get in the way of the judicial system, and these criminals can bribe, they can uh, urge other people to to help them in their negative means. We have experience in Mexico, now as a Chapo, but also we have experience in the United States and the other European systems, judicial prison systems, where we have seen that either financially or either by other types of extortions, criminals are able to break free from the prison system, and we are all in danger, in danger of having these people free again and willing to do more harm for our society to your children. In this case, will be used by doing drugs. And think about your children. The most valuable thing that we have in our lives, they are completely in danger just because of these criminals. So I'm sure, 100% sure that no prison is able to keep these criminals.
Thank you. Well, very powerful start, very emotional. Great intro. Really, the best one I've heard so far. And the build-up. Very good. Well done, David. Okay, even though Wellington and Amp are on the same team, I'm going to let you both do introductions. Amp, would you like to start us off, please?
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Amparo, and I am here just to debate, explain why I trust in the system. I trust that it's possible to have a chapel in a prison, and that is why the government was spending all this time with investigations around the country and outside, just working to get him back in prison. That is a way that the government is showing that they really want the things change in Mexico, and it give people the hope that the things can change and they can have a better image to outside to the world. That that is a good point for this government, and I think in prison they are going to have all the securities that they need to have the guarantee that this criminal is going to be inside. Furthermore, they are just researching who else is implied, who have relation with this cartel, and they try to eliminate it. They are trying to do it.
Okay, thank you very much. Well done. Wellington, as you can see this time around, I'm not picking on you first. I'm letting you go last. The last couple of debate classes, I've made Wellington go first. So I'm trying to be fair now. Well, I try to be fair. So Wellington, go ahead and start. As soon as you start speaking, I'll start the timer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wellington. I'm here to talk against this subject. I believe that um, there are um, we have many problems, but um, the policy is corrupt. We are working to sorry. The policy is corrupt, but we are working to resolve this fact. Um, the lawyer of this sir, they try to revoke the prison with injunctions, and the Mexican Attorney General did not accept. Um, this case is on the news in the outdoor, so it will be very difficult that uh, he also escaped from the prison. Um, I'm confused.
Okay, you did what David did last time, only you caught yourself. Remember that, David? You started arguing for the other side.
I know.
So Wellington, it's okay. That's why I like to give you guys a bit of time because it's very difficult. It's very challenging in this class. And remember, the underlying purpose of this class is for conversation to get you guys to speak. Debate just challenges you a bit more. Okay? So I'm not too worried if you guys are the best debaters in the world. That's not the point here. It's to get you guys speaking more, to articulate your thoughts, to think before you speak. And you're clearly thinking because you realize, wait a minute, policy is corrupt. No, that's not my position. And then you corrected yourself. We are working to resolve this. So well done there. All right, we've only got about 8 minutes left because I've got another class after this to describe what you see. And it's going to be interesting. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you pictures and I want you to tell me a story. I want you to just completely make stuff up. So very different from this class. So we're going to take a minute and we're each going to do a rebuttal. David, you have a minute starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, my opponents, they are living in the moon. They need to go back to planet Earth. Live in reality. Reality. No prison can hold criminals. Reality. Corruption is everywhere. Reality. Mexico let this guy escape twice. Not only once, ladies and gentlemen, twice. Do you really believe they're going to be able to keep him in prison a third time? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, brilliant, David. That combative style, I love it. And Amp, I thought he was doing fine. Now, if you look at his points there, he's giving you plenty of ammunition. Use his words against him. In fact, Amp, use the force. All right, Amp, I'm going to let you go next because I think you kind of disagree with what David had to say. 1 minute starts now.
Um, well, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. I am. Well, it seems that David is a little cranky, but maybe he is against the system. He has a kind of a problem with the system, but I don't understand if he is against the system, why he's still living here. What you have to trust that your country is going to um, improve, and that is the hope that all the people have. And this It's just a small example that how the government is making the best effort to try to show the
Thank you. I was going to give you a point there, but you went over. So, um, yeah, can't we all get along kind of speech, right? You know, trust the system. Trust the system. I know what David's thinking right there. Do we trust them a third time? Let's see what Wellington has to say. Wellington, are you ready?
Yes.
Go
Okay.
ahead, please.
Okay. Sir and ladies, um, my final statement is that this Sir David, maybe he is working with the clan of El Chapo. Why? Why? Because uh, we are doing what is necessary to do. Many injunctions
wait a
were
minute,
not.
wait a minute, the teacher is not here, so you have to restart when
Uh,
he's back.
Oh, he's gone?
Yeah.
El Chapo took him.
He was adopted.
He's back. I thought you.
But
I thought El Chapo took you.
Trust me, I will be back. Wellington, that was the best rebuttal I've ever heard. Okay, well,
That was funny. That was really funny. I was laughing so hard.
all right. Well, it would have been funnier if one of you guys was speaking and it had happened to you, but all my points are gone. But I want to say this. David, I love your emotional side, how you state your facts emotionally, you get aggressive, and I think that's great in a debate. What I was
Thank you.
surprised none of you mentioned, though, is the fact that Mexico is pursuing extradition to the United States. Also, none of you talked about even in the United States, people are escaping prison. Even Alcatraz, people escape prison.
I
There
know.
is a guarantee. However, majority of the people in prison do not escape.
But I said that. Remember? I
No,
said
no, I'm
both
just
ways.
saying that there wasn't as much, because those are really big points, right?
Yeah.
And yes, you did touch on them, but nobody really kind of hammered those. So just always little things in the news, and this is just a development recently. So, yeah, thank you, Am. So in about 5 minutes, 7 minutes, stop. I'm going to get a bad review today. We're going to do it slightly different, describe what you see. I'm going to show you an image, and at least for the first part of the class, I'm going to actually have you guys make up stories. You don't have to be a reporter. We can just be like friends hanging out, and I'll show you an image. You'll say, oh, yes, this reminds me about, or there's a story about this. So what happened here? This is a true story, guys. There was this man who was stranded in the desert. And the only way he was able to survive by extracting water from the sand at night as it would condense. And he did this. See, I'm making stuff up. And so it's all about describing things, using descriptive words. Describing things as though we're blind. We don't know what you're saying. That's what we're going to do in the next class. I have another debate class coming up this weekend. I forgot what it's about, though, so let me take a look. Oh, that's not my class. That's why I can't find it. I
About
forgot.
technology.
Ah, technology. Yeah, this is a good one. Technology makes our lives better. Well, that's easy to argue both ways, isn't it?
That would be good. Yeah. That
That's
would be
the
a good
heart
one.
of a good debate. One that can be argued either way. Come to my conversation class prior to that to get ready for it. Or do some work prior. Come to class prepared. You'll have a better debate. And the more points, even just get as many points as you can and write them down so that way when your opponent's speaking, you go, oh yeah, I know how to counteract that. Okay? Maybe try a David style. Become aggressive, right? Not rude, but aggressive. Use humor. Okay? So I'm going to let you guys go now because I have to get ready for that class coming up next. But I do hope to see each and every one of you then. And thank you so much for coming out, guys. You were very lucky. There's only 3 of you that showed up out of 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
To
thank you.
the
That was
next.
fun.
Yeah, teacher. Take care.